On the next stop, producer of film, television, and theater, Daryl Sledge. Are you there, Mr. Sledge? Hey.
I'm here.
All right. First thing first, man. Tell us the high school you went to.
I went to one of the best high schools in Chicago, Percy L. Julian High School.
All of us, Julian in the house again. Let me tell you. So I had to get that first shout out to PLJ, Percy L. Julian. Man, thank you very much, Mr. Sledge, for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
So, man, you are a producer. I mean, it's a wonderful thing to say that's, an awesome person like yourself came from Percy L. Julian. You're a producer now doing great things. Man, tell me, what are you doing? What are you producing? What's going on? I mean, tell the people that want to know what Daryl Sledge, the Sledge himself, Sledgehammer, that's what I'm going to call you, man. The Sledgehammer himself is out there doing. What's going on, man?
Well, I came to New York many years ago from Chicago, maybe 25 years ago. Wow. I think it was always in me to be a producer. So I went to go to school, grad school anyway, NYU, and came here to meet Spike Lee, and that's what exactly happened.
Oh, wow. Oh, cool.
And so, I'm producing theater and film and TV and web series.
Cool. Refresh my memory, because my mom said, Brenda, we supported him. It was years ago. Was one of your first theater plays Fallen Leaves?
That's right.
Yeah, you had the Echoes playing out there.
That's right. That was at the Regal Theater.
Yeah, that's what I said. Mom, she just broke it down. She was like, tell Mr. Daryl I said hello, we love him. I said, okay, so that's a shout out from Mama Echoes for you.
All right. Tell her I love her, too. I would love to see her.
I will. Now, what specific training did you have to become a producer?
I think when producing, it's really instinctual. People try to make it into this grandiose type of thing. Anybody can really be a producer. All you need to do is just have a vision, have some know-how, and get to work.
Can't be lazy about it, huh?
That's right. Well, you got to have passion, and then what's going to fuel that passion is hunger. And so, you certainly can't be lazy about it. But it's nothing that the average person can't do. It's nothing spectacular about producing. You just have to love it and just do it.
So, Mr. Sledge, tell me a little bit about your passion for it, because it takes a lot of gusto to go out there and say I'm going to meet Spike Lee and then meet Spike Lee. You have to have a passion and commitment to do that. Talk a little bit about that for someone who's just starting up with producing.
Okay. Well, that's a good question, because everybody needs a hand. Everybody needs somebody to help them out. And so I would say to the person, or young person who wants to be a producer, is to start reading a lot of screenplays and plays, or whatever media they want to produce. Start knowing as much as they can about it, so that when they meet someone in that medium, they can have something to say to that person who's the expert in that medium, to suggest that, okay, you know what, you belong here, you deserve to be here. So I say to young people, know something about the area that you want to produce in, because if you come to me looking for a job or looking for an internship, even if you don't know a lot, but you know one or two things, it makes me want to invest in you.
That's a key word, invest in them. So come prepared, people, if you are interested in doing this type of thing. So, Daryl, but what does a typical day consist of for you?
Wow. Always meetings. Lots of meetings. And you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not a meeting person.
Not you.
I don't. No. I don't like meetings. I don't like to talk on the phone. I just like to work and just get it done.
So you the behind the scenes guy.
I really like to be behind the scenes. Yeah, I really like to be the behind the scenes guy. I don't need to be on camera or anything like that. That doesn't interest me.
I appreciate you saying that you don't like being in meetings, because what he ain't saying, I'm gonna say it for him, because I'm, Reverend McCain, I'm real. Because a lot of times these meetings are a waste of time, where people are doing a lot of talking about something about 2 or 3 hours, where you can do in about 15, 20 minutes and get things going. He's about the business of doing his passion. So, it's amazing how that happens a lot when people want to do certain things, and where they figure that talking about it in a meeting makes something happen. No, it's what you do after the meeting. And if you're just meeting, it's not doing anything. So you're talking to all of these, people in the meetings. Talk to me a little bit about the planning stage of it. I know you said you need to go read scripts and things like that, but you got this passion to want to do that. I'm sure, probably from going to Percy L. Julian. But how did it continue to go on? Who was the one that inspired you to continue this passion?
My grandfather. My grandfather was a PhD in economics, so he understood hard work. And he used to always sit me down and say, it's something special about you. It's something you're going to say to the world, and you got something to say. And I would be like, yeah. Okay, Grandpa. But he kept pushing me. And then that bubble just burst within me, where it really wanted me to really pursue what it was that was within me, that I feel that God gave me. See, if we could just talk layman, I believe I'm a minister, but I deliver my message through producing.
All right, I like that.
Yes, you do.
I'm not interested in sensationalism. I'm not interested in prophets. I'm more interested in having something to say and letting that resonate on someone's mind, so that it may influence them to be better, or live better, or do better. So I look at my work as being that a messenger, more so than an artist. And I know it's in the art form, but I believe I have a higher calling to my my work. Mm-hmm. So an average day for me is, like I said, meetings, taking calls, reading scripts, reading teleplays. If something strikes my fancy where I feel it has something to say, then I bring in that person who wrote it, and then we start talking, and then we have a series of talks, actually. And then if that moves along, then I option the agreement, meaning that that's where the money comes in. I give them some money where they say, okay, you have 2 years to produce this, so I have full option rights, meaning no one else can produce that within those 2 years. And then from there, we tighten up the script or the teleplay, and then I bring on a director who has proven that they specialize in that type of genre. So if it's a science fiction, I'm going to look for those directors who specialize in science fiction.
Is it hard to find good actors and actresses for the roles that you have?
No.
New York.
Everybody comes to New York to be an actor. Oh, everybody goes to Chicago
to eat,
to be an actor. True. Yeah. But you know what? People don't realize that Chicago is the second most important theater town in the United States. Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah. After New York.
Yeah. And I never thought of it that way here.
I mean, Chicago's getting a lot. Say, Mr. Sledge, I'm going to call you Mr. Sledge from now on, so it's Mr. Sledge or Sledgehammer myself. You talked about something that's very important and dear to me. It's the content that you want to have. You see yourself as a minister, and you have a purpose to do things. Do you find it very hard because of the sensationalism of television and production today to bring that to the forefront?
It is a difficulty to it because everything relies on commerce. Unfortunately, the psyche of Americana is sensationalism, and the more sensationalized it is, people watch it. So there is a unfortunate situation in that. But I think it takes those special producers to keep hammering at what it is that they love, and you'll get it through. And those are the ones that make the stance. People are always talking about it, like, "Wow, did you see that program?" Because it's something different, and it says something to the soul, and to the psyche, as opposed to it just being some sensationalized program.
Well, something you did a documentary that the name alone, That Daughter's Crazy, and I think you did that in London. Tell us a little bit more about that. I know the name is self-explanatory, but break that down a little bit about That Daughter's Crazy.
Well, that documentary was based off of an Off-Broadway play that I produced that featured and chronicled Rain Pryor's life, who's the daughter of Richard Pryor. And so what That Daughter's Crazy is about is really the trials, tribulations, triumphs that Rain, faced growing up being a black woman and a Jewish woman. And the situation of being Richard Pryor's daughter, coming from fame and wealth, but also seeing the destruction. And all of that, going through all of that, will make somebody go crazy.
There you go.
I'm telling you.
so that's why we call it That Daughter's Crazy. But thank God she likes to say, "I'm still here." Right. So I know Infinite Wisdom was looking out for her.
Amen to that. Now, speaking of ancestries and everything, is it hard for an African American to become a producer?
I don't think so. I think the numbers may suggest, it's not enough of us, but I believe that whatever your heart desires, where there's a will, there's a way. For me, it was like if you told me I couldn't do something, I wanted to do it more so.
Yeah.
It was just like a fire that fueled within me. If you say you can't do it, it's something that rose up in me that said, "Okay, I'm going to prove you wrong." So I think what happens, or what needs to happen, is that people of color like myself, or black folk like myself, we need to reach back, and if we want to change the landscape of how we're perceived in television and the moving image, or on the stage, we have to reach back and offer internships and offer those who want to be producers a chance to grow and learn.
I'm so glad that you said that, man, because I have said that for years, that you had some of the great black producers out there that never seemed to work together or reach out the way that we should. And it was something that we needed to do and to be able to advance or increase our numbers. I don't understand why that hasn't happened. I'm not going to ask you that either, because you may not understand either. But it is so important that we do reach back and help our own to move up into the industry so we can start producing things that we want to see.
Exactly. Well, I think if we look at the church situation, and when you go to church, and I grew up in church, the minister is ministering to you to inspire you. And we as artists, especially black artists, we have to be inspirational. So we have to think about that pastor that ministered to us and encouraged us. For instance, my pastor always encouraged me just through his teaching and his wisdom with the word. And if we apply that to our work in that form, I think we can do it. Yeah. But I think we forget sometimes, because we think too much of artistry, and we don't realize that people are watching us, and what we say and do can be an influence. And what we don't say and what we don't do can also be an influence on folks. So I think if we think of it ourselves as being ministers, and I'm not speaking of a person standing behind necessarily a pulpit,
right?
But if you can spread some good news and whatever people want to do and offer them a sense of hope and that they can do it, I think we can break those grounds. But you know what? As long as we keep being depicted as something negative, we're going to get tired one day.
Yeah.
And we'll start making changes.
Ooh, man, that's a whole different can of worms right there, man.
Well, they need to be trying.
I can't. That's what I haven't watched television, Daryl, in about 20 years because I'm tired of what has been depicted on our stations, our news, and our television shows. I'm tired of seeing the one token black person. I mean, it's just we've got to get together and work with each other to make sure that things are more positive about the African American and show that in a different light than what's being shown now. And I say this,
exactly.
I'm gonna say this. I want to know one thing is what have you learned throughout the years that can help a African American producer now teach them something that they need to know going forward.
I think if I could say anything to a producer is knowing your truth, and staying within that truth. Because if you stay within that truth, passion is going to rise. And if you allow passion to rise, hunger is going to rise. You know, when you're really hungry and you want to go get some food, you won't stop at anything. You got to have that same hunger drive with whatever it is you're doing. So I say that. I also say to people, don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to not get it totally right the first time. But make an attempt. And I think that's what's important. That people really just do it or try to do it as opposed to thinking they can't do it because they don't have the experience or they don't know anybody. Just get out there and do it.
Yeah.
If you're earnest, someone's going to see it. And someone's going to take you under their wings and groom you. So I say to young folks, just do it, man. It's nothing difficult about it. Just have a vision and then, put it together. Like Brenda spoke on that play that I did at the Regal. My very first play, I didn't know what I was doing. But I was just like, you know what, I have an idea. And I know we need this and we know I need that. And so I got those people together and we did it.
When did that come out, Daryl?
That was in the 90s. I can't remember. Yeah, it was in the 90s.
Because when you said Regal Theater, we like, wow.
So you probably done so many things because sometimes people say, when did you do this? And I can't remember. You've done so many things. So tell us about some things that you're doing now.
Well, I've worked on a lot of TV shows and movies. I've worked with the likes of Will Smith, Denzel Washington. I'm working with Jennifer Lopez now on a show that she starred on. I've worked with Angelina Jolie. I've worked with a lot of people.
Is this before or after the divorce? I said this before or after the divorce?
They going through that now.
Well. This was 2009. So well before the divorce.
They were still going. So I'm sorry. What else you got?
I worked on over 75 movies and TV shows.
All right.
From production to being an AD, which is an assistant director, to being, now I'm working in accounting because I wanted to learn budgeting. Okay. And as a producer, you need to understand the money.
Right, there you go.
And so I wasn't worried about the creativity because I know I got that. But I wanted to learn, how to run the money and watch the money. And I met this sister. Her name is Valerie. Someone that I really respect and admire. And I told her, I said, listen, I want to understand budgeting. And she's a an accounting expert, and got me in just like that.
And that's a smart thing, a lot of times what people do, they get the money, but they don't know how to take care of it. And then you get people, that take care of your money like an AK Mike Tyson, and all of a sudden your money's gone. So that was a very smart move of doing that to make sure that not only you have the money, but the money is still there when you need it.
Yeah. Well, I had to step back. I had to step back from producing some things I'm developing now. I'm developing 6 projects. 3 of them are theater projects and 3 are film projects, and one of them I'm developing with Felicia Rashad. So I had to step back a little bit to learn this, to understand this. And I remember Diana Ross saying she learned how to keep her money, and that she didn't go to college or anything like that, but she learned how to keep her money. And so that always resonated with me.
Yeah.
So, I've always wanted to understand that.
I wish more of our African-American people would do that same vein as learning how to keep their money. You don't have to have a degree in finance, but you should know something about it so you can hold on to your money. Hey, baby, you got any other questions? Because, I'm a preacher. I can talk.
Yeah, I do. What is the best, Daryl, what is the best thing you love about your job?
It's a gift and a blessing to be able to just do what you love doing. One of the things I really like is working with people. I meet so many different people from different backgrounds, and we don't have to be pretentious or anything like that. We can just be ourselves. And just learning so much about different people and the different crafts that they do. For instance, if you're in film or you're on a film set, it takes a person who builds the set. It takes set dressers who decorate the set. It's the costumers who dress the actors. It's the ADs who run the set and tell the extras, okay, I want you to walk across the street when you do this, and when the light changes, I want you to run across the street, and then when the light changes again, I want you to fall out and act like you're dead, or whatever, But all the different trades and that are involved in the industry, you get to learn. You get to learn a lot and just meet different people who are just as passionate about what they do as you are about what you do.
So, Daryl, let me ask you this. How does your Christianity play a part of your production?
I never wanted to do anything that was going to embarrass myself or embarrass my family. I never wanted to do anything to harm another person. I had no interest in that. But most importantly, I never wanted to mislead someone. And I think just growing up in a household where we were taught to just respect ourselves and respect others, and just going to services where we were taught, not preached to, but taught how to really live in a good, clean way. It manifested with everything that I wanted to do in terms of the art world or producing. I don't have any interest in doing anything that's smut, or gutter. I have no interest in that. But I want to do things that inspire people and uplift people. But most importantly, I want to get back to Chicago and do some producing.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you want some extras, you can put Tracy and Brendan there. If you're looking for a star, then you can just I'll come there and I can sing and act and do everything else. So I'm putting my plug in now.
But we pretty,
right?
Well, you know what, brother? I really want to do something with Julian.
All right.
For Julian. I really do.
Yeah.
Jerry Wade and I, we graduated together, and he's big in the alumni.
Jerry's a boy.
Yeah, so we were in the same division and everything.
Yeah,
so I've been knowing him for years. And I spoke with him. I said we need to do something and put it on film and in the moving image in terms of Julian to celebrate all the graduates.
Oh, cool.
That graduated from Julian.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
Well, we are available when you're ready to do that.
Yeah.
And we are prettier than Rick.
Yes, you are prettier than Rick because Rick doesn't want to be pretty. Rick wants to be handsome. Thank you very much. Mr. Sledge, man, I appreciate you. I just want to give you one more time before we let you go, and we appreciate you being on the Let's Stay Together show. For those who may have just missed this awesome show that this segment we had with Daryl Sledge. He's been talking about production and how he's got involved in it and helping pretty much training and understanding what you need to do to get it involved in the production field. And so, Daryl, I want to just have you just tell a young producer one more time, just give him maybe 3 tips about what they can do before you go.
Okay. If I could say anything, I would say number 1 is totally understand that this is what you want to do. You got to know that this is what you want to do because you're going to get a lot of rejection. So you got to know that this is what you want to do. Secondly, surround yourself with someone who has been doing it and who has proven themselves as a producer. Wrap yourself around them. Ask all types of questions. Learn. Nothing is, there's no stupid question. Just ask.
Good.
And be willing to learn and take instruction from that person. And then just go out there and just do it. And you know what? Do some interns. If you want to work in TV, find a local television station in the city of Chicago or wherever you live. And say, I'll come by once or twice a week and do the, remedial stuff. I got to grab your coffee or whatever. I just want to learn.
Amen. Yeah.
So I would say definitely know that this is what you want to do. Find a mentor, and I love to mentor. So you guys can announce that or however you want to do it. I give you my email address. We can make that work.
Oh, cool.
And volunteer and do some internships.
Yeah.
And if you prove yourself, people will hire you.
Amen.
Hey, you got a message that just came through from Miss Sandra Renee Eccles Coleman. She said, hello, Daryl, and she is proud of you.
Tell her, Sandra, I love you.
She listening to you.
Sandra, well, I knew her as Sandra, and then I knew her as Renee, and we go back since 3rd grade.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We've been friends since 3rd grade, and she's been that friend to me for all those years.
Amen.
And I love her, so, yeah.
All right.
God bless.
Hey, brother, once you're on the McCain train, you're family for life. So
welcome
you to the family. We'll definitely have you back again to talk to you about some future things that are going on. And whenever you have anything going, please just hook up with Brenda so we can let everybody know. And we'll have that information out there also, too, for anybody that wants to be on the intern with Daryl Sledge so he can help you and play it forward. So, Daryl, thank you very much, sir, for being a part of our Next Stop, Let's Stay Together talk show. And, brother, we'll be talking to you again soon, okay?
Well, thank you for having me. And I guess you can hear I never lost my Midwestern accent.
No. That's right.
Yes.
That's good, because we don't want you talking like a New Yorker.
Yes.
Right.
Come on home, brother. Come on home. All right, man. Thank you very much. We appreciate you.
Take care.
You're welcome. Thank you, brother. Thank you all.
All right. Hey, that was a great time talking with Daryl Sledge about that. Baby, thank you very much for doing what you always do and getting some of these great guests on the show with us. And what do we go to next?
We are going to none other our commercials and point of view by Donna Terrell and our promo with Chris Rock. Say your prayer, baby.
Chris Rock is an imitation and not necessarily Chris Rock, so we don't want Chris Rock to sue us.
Right.
Hey, this is Reverend Rick McCain along with my baby, my girl, my boo, Alta Brenda McCain, Tracy Brown Howard, and Al Greer. Is that Rosie's son? I don't know. That's Al Greer over there as well. Giving a shout out to my boys, Mr. D Bass, Curtis. What is his name?
Chris
Bass. D Bass. Chris Bass and Dion Walker. Man, we love you, miss you. We're going to be shouting out for you all night long. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks.